Have you ever walked away from someone and thought, why did I allow that? That uncomfortable feeling in your chest? That quiet anger at yourself? Here's the truth. Some behaviors should never be tolerated, not because you're too sensitive, not because you have an ego, but because your brain and emotional health actually suffer when you keep accepting disrespect. Today, we're talking about 5 unacceptable behaviors you should never tolerate, and the psychology behind self-worth and even your mental peace. Let's start with the first one. Number 1. Constant disrespect disguised as jokes. You know this one. Someone insults you, then laughs and says, "Relax, I was just joking." But somehow, the joke is always about you. Psychologically repeated jokes at your expense create something called microaggressions. Your brain doesn't fully register it as a threat, but it still feels attacked. Over time, this lowers self-esteem because your subconscious starts believing the repeated message. If someone constantly embarrasses you, mocks your appearance, your dreams, or your intelligence, and hides behind humor, that's not comedy. That's control. Healthy relationships don't make you the punchline. Number 2. Gaslighting. This one is dangerous. Gaslighting is when someone makes you question your own memory or feelings. You say, "That hurt me?" They reply, "You're overreacting. You clearly remember what happened." They say, "That never happened." Over time, this confuses your brain. Psychologists explain that when your reality is repeatedly denied, your confidence in your own judgment drops. You start second-guessing everything. You think, maybe I'm too emotional. Maybe I misunderstood. And slowly you lose trust in yourself. If someone constantly makes you doubt your reality instead of listening to your feelings, that is not love. That is manipulation. Number 3. Boundary violations. If you say no and they keep pushing, that's a problem. It could be small things. You say you don't want to share something personal. They insist. You say you need space. They keep calling. You say you're busy. They guilt trip you. Psychology tells us that boundaries are essential for emotional safety. When someone repeatedly ignores them, your stress levels increase. Your body actually reacts as if it's under threat. Respect is shown when someone hears no and stops. If they don't stop, they don't respect you. Number 4. Silent punishment. This is when someone shuts down communication to control you. They ignore your messages. They avoid eye contact. They withdraw affection, not because they need space, but to make you feel guilty. It's emotional punishment without words. Research. Psychology shows that social rejection activates the same brain regions as physical pain. That means being deliberately ignored by someone you care about literally hurts your brain. Healthy adults communicate. They don't disappear to teach you a lesson. And finally, number 5, conditional kindness. This one is subtle. They're kind, but only when you agree with them. They're supportive, but only when you do what they want. They're loving, but only when you're useful to them. This creates anxiety because your brain starts working over time to earn their approval. You become hyper-aware. You try to avoid upsetting them. That's not a relationship. That's emotional dependency training. Real respect is consistent. Real care isn't a reward system. Now, here's the important part. When you tolerate these behaviors repeatedly, your brain adapts. It normalizes them. What once felt wrong starts feeling just the way things are. And that's how people slowly shrink themselves. Without realizing it, you stop speaking up. You laugh at jokes that hurt. You apologize for having needs, not because you're weak, but because your nervous system has learned that staying quiet feels safer. But here's the shift. The moment you calmly say, "I'm not okay with that," something powerful happens. 2 things become clear. Either the person adjusts, or they reveal who they truly are. Both outcomes are useful, because the right people don't disappear when you set standards. Only the ones benefiting from your silence do. You don't need to scream. You don't need to fight. You just need to decide what is. It's unacceptable and stick to it. Think of it this way. If someone walked into your house and started breaking your furniture, you wouldn't say, "Maybe I'm too sensitive about my sofa, So why do we protect our couches more than our confidence? Your mental peace is not negotiable. Your boundaries are not rude, and your feelings are not weaknesses. The next time someone crosses a line, pause and ask yourself one simple question. If my friend was treated this way, would I accept it for them? If the answer is no, then don't accept it for yourself, because respect isn't something you beg for, it's something you allow or refuse. And once you stop tolerating what hurts you, you'll be surprised how quickly your world becomes quieter, lighter, and filled with people who actually deserve a seat at your table.